Welcome back to Out of the Rough. I'm Fred Arnold. I'm joined by Joe Messina. Joe Messina is the president of Wildcat Business Group, and we're going to talk today about the real social marketing for the small business. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You're an expert when it comes to computers, internet, websites.
Yep.
Let's talk about how businesses are starting to communicate and want to communicate to their customers. Before, you just had a website and it was kind of your billboard.
It was, yeah, it was a place for people driving down the internet would catch you, find out about you, but
Get some
it wasn't
basics.
really, yeah, it wasn't really meant to be anything with detail on it.
Right.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing that transformation.
Well, now it's, what did you pay for the Yellow Pages 10 years ago? $900 a month for 12 months. You couldn't change it for 12 months. That was it. And now we're seeing small businesses go to the website to say, okay, how do I market? They've used a word they never used before. Now, how do I market on my website? And this is your lobby. This is the first thing people see when they access your business.
First impression.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. And I'm not saying it just because we do websites, but if they see cheesy, they think cheesy. They think that, I don't know, if you're not going to spend the time showing me what you have, you may not be able to do the work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Simplicity sometimes important?
Yes, yeah. We talk a lot about white space in the business because you've got too much clutter. It's like anything else. My wife calls it being visually assaulted. You get to that site and you have 4 seconds to grab somebody. You have 4 seconds for somebody to figure out what it is you do before they move on.
Okay, or make a choice to move on within your website.
Yes, exactly.
So let's talk about that first. Let's talk about the actual setup of a website. Simplicity versus kind of all the bells and whistles, and streaming video versus just simple words.
Right, right. One of the things I tell the guys when we're doing the websites is nobody should have to search for your phone number. You see some of these websites you get to and they have your website up in big letters on the website. Well, guess what? They had to know that to get there.
They already know that.
Yeah. Where's the phone number? Yes. Because if they're confused or they want to get information, you want that phone number up front.
That is why you create a website so they'll actually call you and either ask for directions to get to your site or find out whether their product is right.
Right.
Isn't that so true?
It is.
Yes.
It is. And the search function. You shouldn't have to search for the search function. It should be right there because I may get to your site. I've got a client that does flooring. Well, flooring isn't just wood flooring. What is it?
Flooring is a lot of flooring.
Right. It's carpet, laminates, all that stuff.
Right.
So if I don't want to search the site manually, I should be able to hit that search box, type, laminate, whatever it is, and get right to that page. Yeah. So there are things that you want up there so people start to feel comfortable right away with, oh, I can move around this. This is easy.
Right. The key is to drive traffic to your website and ultimately get someone to take action. Whether it be call you to do business with you, apply online. For us, it's applying for loans online. We want that. We want it to result in something. Tell me your opinion of information. Like, let's say if you posted some videos of your company or the process of what you do, length of time to be on the video, thoughts on that?
How many sites have you been to where when you first hit that page, there's probably 117,000 lines of text?
Right.
Or it appears that way, right? What do? Do you read it?
Right. It's
no,
too overwhelming.
It's too much. It's
you get to the point. Read the bullets.
Right. And I think it's, again, why you have to bring marketing people in when you're putting your website together. And that is, how do you grab somebody's eye with few sentences, few words, so that they go further with it? So I think the key is to make it so they understand what you're saying quickly with few words. And who are you trying to reach? That's the other thing. Young kids today are into sound bites. That's why you see all these news clips that are only 5 or 6 sentences long. You talk about
7 seconds long.
Yeah. Well, you talk about YouTube, for instance. There are a lot of instructional videos on YouTube. Those are great. Those are okay to be 10 minutes long. But if you're trying to quickly explain a process, how long do you think somebody's going to sit behind the computer staring at that screen?
A couple minutes.
That's about all you're going to get.
You got to dig as much information as quickly as you can, which is the premise behind this show. We post these shows in 8-minute segments, but that's all people have an attention span for. Of course, it runs for 24 minutes, but how much information can we get in 8 minutes? Which leads to social media. You have a website, you've mastered that, or you think you have, social media.
All right.
How do you integrate it?
Well, no, let's go back to your other point, though, and tie it all together. Think about where we've come in society where text messaging and tweets are 140 characters. How much can you tell somebody in 140 characters?
Right.
So you've got to get that message across hard and fast and get them where you need to go.
Yes.
And since everybody's doing more and more on the internet, they almost have to trip over you at times, depending on what it is you're trying to do, whether you're retail, service industry. So you have to target your audience. And we were just talking about this in light of, you have LinkedIn, you have Facebook, you have Twitter, you have all these ways to communicate.
Yeah.
Right, and how much time do you want to spend trying to communicate? But if you go to your old-fashioned marketing, when it comes to real estate, for instance, we had postcards, right? And you targeted an area, you targeted a certain type of client.
You have a postcard with some pictures that might interest the person, and that's it.
Right.
Not a whole lot of text, not a whole lot of writing.
No. But what we're seeing on the social marketing side is it's numbers. Blast it out, get it out to as many people as you can, get the information out, and allow people to choose what they want to follow through with. Go read more. You know, that's a very famous button, right? Read more.
Read more.
So you go back to what it is that you want to look at.
So in a newsletter, if you're doing a newsletter, you have, you know, maybe the first paragraph to get people's interest, and then read more. And then you have another subject, read more.
Right.
Yeah,
Correct.
simple things like that.
Yeah.
Facebook, it's all the rage.
Yeah.
I enjoy Facebook to communicate with people and let people know what I do in a quiet way. Any tips on Facebook?
Yeah, make sure it really works for you and you're just not wasting time on it. You know, we talked about LinkedIn and Facebook. Now, you're a business person. When you think of LinkedIn, what do you think of?
Business.
Okay, professionals, business, right? So I wouldn't take a high-end attorney firm and push LinkedIn aside and give them Facebook.
Facebook, got it.
Doesn't make any sense. However, real estate,
in my
Facebook,
industry,
you
loans.
want them there.
Yes.
You want people on there telling them, hey, it was so easy to deal with these guys. Look at the beautiful house we bought. Look what just came. That works on Facebook. So make sure you're not wasting your time, energy, and resources with the wrong tools.
Yep.
But Twitter always works.
Because it's quick, it's short.
It's
the
quick,
new generation
it's
wants that.
Bing, the new generation. The new generation sees, you know, just listed 3-bedroom, 2-bath house affordable to new buyers. Well, I'm a young person. I'm a new buyer. I'm renting. Let me look at that.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I love it. And one thing I have to say, though, and maybe I'm in the minority, but just because you have Twitter, Facebook, you still have to have a phone number. You still, in some cases, have brick and mortar. You still have to be accessible in other means, old traditional means. They might look you up on the internet, but they still want to touch you and feel you.
Yeah, Fred, but I got to tell you something. You're gonna, you know, I agree with you, and I don't get how this all works, but some of our biggest companies, or some of the biggest companies, Facebook, where they start off in a dorm.
Yes.
You can call that brick and mortar if you want to.
Yes.
But there are a lot of businesses that are virtual businesses.
I see.
Until they get big enough, and then they've got a place to go.
They reach out.
And you talk about the phone number. I mean, you've heard the ads about, what is it, grasshopper.com and those places where they're virtual phone numbers, and they tie to your cell phones.
Yes.
Because I think it's nuts to see an advertisement that it's Joe's Flower Shop, but you can reach him at joe@aol.com, and here's my cell number. That makes me very uneasy to do
because
business
it's an
with somebody
AOL
like
versus
that.
your own website.
Yeah, have your own website, have your own branding, your own, tie it back to who you are.
And I know that you host a radio show called The Real Side. It's also on SCV-TV.
Yep.
And you're branding yourself. And I think that that's really important. Just like you, real social marketing for the small business.
Oh, yeah.
We just have about 1 minute. Any last tips?
Just make sure that you're not, if you've got a business and you're really trying to market it, don't go to Uncle Fred's son to do it. Go to a professional company that has a total solution for you. Marketing, websites, social media, they can really help you tie it all together.
Perfect. And Wildcat Business Group can be reached at?
2 ways. Wildcat.la. That's how easy it is.
Wildcat.la.
Or 257-2626.
Area code 661.
Yeah.
Very good. Thanks for
Fred, thanks for your
show.
time. I appreciate it.
Joe Messina, president of Wildcat Business Group and Real Social Marketing for the Small Business. I hope you enjoyed this edition of Out of the Rough. I'm Fred Arnold. If you'd like to view this show online, go to scvtv.com or fredarnold.com. If you have any questions for myself, email me at fred@fredarnold.com. Until our next time we meet, make it a happy, healthy, and prosperous day. And I hope this show helped get you out of the rough. Bye-bye.